you think you're the coolest one in town, but to me you'll be much cooler when you're 6 feet on the ground. Some of us are crazy, some are smart and brave. Well, it doesn't really matter, we all end up in the grave. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. I'm saying all my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead. All my favorite people are dead.
Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to
all my favorite people are dead.
That was good.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty good.
We didn't even rehearse that. That's
No.
pretty good. That's so good.
Yeah.
Shannon and I are so tight we can finish each other's sandwiches.
So I can finish anybody's sandwich.
Sandwiches.
Honestly.
Sentences. Sandwiches. I'd rather finish your sandwich,
I'd rather yeah.
but we can finish each other's sentences.
We
That's
can do
so
that,
good.
too.
That's so cool. Two
yeah.
brains, one thought.
So I'm Shannon Butler,
I'm still Sue Teresi.
and here we are for another episode.
Here we go.
Now today is your
It's all about,
person.
it's my girl.
It's your girl.
my girl. It's my woman. It's one of my favorite people.
I'm excited.
Too bad she's dead. But,
Yeah.
all right, I'll give you a clue. You ready?
Ready.
Okay. Who doesn't love a beautiful girl who's always getting into trouble? Yep.
Sounds fun to me.
Right?
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody we know. Or, yeah, leave it hanging. Audrey Kathleen Rooston.
Root?
Yeah, her maiden name was Rooston, but we all know her as Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn.
I'm a big fan. I watch all the movies. She was just always beautiful and
Yeah.
stylish and everything, sugar and spice and everything nice.
Can I be honest with you, though?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
You didn't see any of her movies, did you?
No, that's not
Oh,
true.
okay.
I saw My Fair Lady when I was a kid.
Okay.
That doesn't really count now because now I'm 30s-ish and I don't remember it.
Okay.
I do remember the great dress she wore. And I finally saw all of Breakfast at Tiffany's
And it only took you 30-something years.
last night.
Seriously? I have to go now. Okay. What did you think of it?
Oh, I loved it.
But-
I was like, why have I never taken the time to watch this movie all the way through?
It is classic.
It was.
It is fabulous. Not my favorite. We'll
But it
get
made
to
me
that.
sad.
It's sad. It is sad.
It made me, well, first of all, I had a lot of issues. Okay. Number one,
Mickey Rooney doing that accent.
and the whole, that
That's
was
just
that racist.
so bad.
Oh, God.
But it was acceptable at the time. Kind of like, what's his face? Dick Van Dyke trying to do a British accent in Mary Poppins.
I mean,
Back then, it was...
Americans doing British accents and British doing American accents. That's not a big. The whole doing the.
What, Miss Go Right Ree? Oh, yeah,
like,
it's pretty awful.
It was awful.
But it was considered that
yeah.
Mickey Rooney was doing it, and it was
I know.
acceptable. I don't think anybody should try it now.
No.
Don't be doing that.
No.
But what else did you?
Okay, so
It was sad.
I was. First of all, she was really annoying in the beginning. She got better over time, but I also was. I guess I was feeling the nostalgia. I was feeling like, man, I really identified with the guy behind the counter at the Tiffany store when
There
he
you
was
go.
like, do Cracker Jacks still have toys?
Yeah.
Like, treasures in their box. And I'm like, they don't anymore. They did in 1960, whatever
They
this
did when I was
film
a
was.
kid,
But
yeah.
I'm like, no, there's no more treasures or toys.
Wait, if you buy a box of Cracker Jacks, there's no prize?
There's like a cardboard cutout. It's not a ring. It's not a.
Well-
it's not even a sticker really. I'm like,
Well,
What is
times
that?
have changed. I mean, and, trolleys aren't a nickel.
the 5 and dime store. I was like,
No,
nah,
there is no 5 and dime
there's
store.
No 5 and dime stores.
Okay, so now because I'm 111, we kind of had 5 and dime stores. Kind
something
of
close to it.
along the equivalent, but things have changed now.
Things have changed. I don't know. I just
That's why it's indicative and it captures that moment.
it does. Sure does. Yeah.
I took my family to go see Barefoot in the Park. I don't know if you saw that one. That's another
No.
old movie. We saw a live production of it a few years ago. So in there, they're newlyweds and they get married. And like any woman who gets married, she must quit her job and stay home.
Oh, yeah.
And they also had a walk-up. It was like a 6-story walk-up. And they get a new apartment and the guy comes to hook up their phone. So I see this with my daughter. I think we took my mother for a birthday, a live production for her birthday. My daughter's like, wait, she got married, she had to quit her job, and why is the guy coming to hook up? I said, it's a landline. Why is he hooking up why is he, it was a whole joke that he's huffing and puffing and walking up 6 flights of stairs to install a landline, and it was too dated that people don't get certain things. There are certain things that if you did not live through them, you won't understand.
Right, yeah.
I had a landline as a kid. I had a 25-foot cord, so I could take the phone into the bathroom so that no one would hear me. And we didn't have call waiting, and you would get a busy signal if somebody was trying and I was on the phone. So if you didn't live through these things, you won't get them.
Right.
So the five and dime and certain things just are in a time capsule.
And I didn't like when she threw Cat
Well-
out of the car in the rain. I'm like, what?
We're going to get to that, what cat symbolizes. I mean, you and I, who are animal people,
Yeah.
I'm usually the one picking up other people's wet cats
Yeah, right.
in the alleyway. I'm like, oh, good, another cat. But it's symbolic that she sets him free and gets him back. We're going to talk about what cat symbolizes and why cat is called cat.
Okay.
So
I'm ready.
Oh, goody.
I get it. I got it off my chest.
I'm glad you feel better now. I will never be okay. Well, oh, Miss Go Right, Miss Go Right.
no.
I'm like, wow. I still, I get it just like I break out in hives. But
Yeah, I was like, no.
no, it's, tell me that, Justin, it's like blackface.
Yeah,
Things that were acceptable once upon a time make
Yeah.
you scratch your head now and go,
Like,
oh, no, he didn't. But,
yeah.
all right. Audrey Kathleen Roustan was born May 4th in 1929 in Brussels, Belgium, and she passed away January 20th, 93 in Switzerland at only 63. She was born into a very aristocratic family. Her mother was a baroness, Baroness Ella von Hemstred. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly because there's too many vowels. There's 2 E's and 2 Heemstrand, Hemstrand.
Good.
Like that?
Oh.
A Dutch noblewoman, and her father was Joseph Victor Anthony Roustan, who was born in Austria-Hungary. Mm-hmm. Their family settled in Brussels. Audrey had a very privileged and sheltered childhood. Her father did, however, walk out on the family when she was 6. Yeah. So she connected with him in the 60s, but at that point he was still emotionally detached, but she still, nevertheless, supported him financially until his death.
Can I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
Was he a Nazi sympathizer?
Wouldn't surprise me.
I'd heard about that, like a rumor.
We're gonna get to, yeah.
Okay. I'm jumping ahead here. Sorry.
No, well, not much.
Okay.
So now we are in World War II. She saw death in the Nazi occupation in the Netherlands. Think Anne Frank territory, right?
Yeah.
She had an uncle that was executed. He was innocent. He was charged with sabotage, but he was deliberately targeted because of his family's prominence in Dutch society. Now, this was all on his mother's side, her mother's side. All right? She had a half-brother. He was sent to a camp. Her other half-brother, seeing he went to the camps, went into hiding.
Went to a concentration camp?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah. They threw him in a camp. Yep. Okay. In addition, with other traumatic events, right? Picture living in the Netherlands, in the Anne Frank territory during World War II. You see what's going on?
Yeah.
She saw children, people, men, women, the transportation of Dutch Jews into concentration camps. And this left a big impact on her.
Sure did, yeah.
She was in now, I'm not going to say she was a spy. I don't like saying she was a spy. She was young. Mm-hmm. She ran messages and food to down pilots because she was in England. She was fluent in English where other kids weren't. She spoke English. She was fluent in languages, and she was still a teenager. She was young enough to avoid suspicion and be avoided by the police.
Okay.
So she's now running, and she's speaking and bringing food and stuff. Does that constitute a spy? I'll let you decide. She volunteered at a hospital. Their family actually temporarily hid a paratrooper in the home as well. So they really were risky.
Yeah. It takes a lot of balls.
It really does.
Yeah.
For a young girl like that. And as far as the father's side, I heard that rumor too.
Okay.
But I don't know. The mother's side seemed to be targeted because of their prominence.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, the Germans were blocking food supplies. So as a result, she developed anemia and respiratory problems as a form of malnutrition. Mm-hmm. So nobody was having it good there, okay?
Yeah.
The family's properties were badly damaged and destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay, so rough at that time for everybody.
That's a rough childhood, for sure.
Very rough childhood, considering the prestige and the baroness stuff and all of that, they still were screwed.
Okay.
All right, so now after the war, we're after World War II, she studied ballet. She began performing in London's West End in musicals and theater productions. She supported herself as a model. She had some film roles, but her breakout film was Roman Holiday in 1953. So if you've seen Aladdin, where Jasmine escapes the palace, Roman Holiday, she's a spoiled, sheltered princess, literally. She escapes, she gets drunk, she meets Gregory Peck, who happens to be nothing else but a reporter. Knows who she is, recognizes her eventually, but they get into fights and brawls with the police, and instead of doing the whole thing on her, which she was going to do for his newspaper, I have an inside scoop, knows it'll ruin her. Doesn't do it. They fall in love. I'm not going to tell you what happened, but it's very charming, and you can see why it's her breakout. It's the poise, the dignity, the way she carries herself, her expressions is everything classy and iconic and fabulous.
I gotta watch it.
You really should.
I really do hate it.
She was the first actress to win an Oscar, a Golden Globe, and a BAFTA, which is the British Academy of Film and Television Arts, for a single performance. And you could see why. It really is worth watching.
What age is she when she's...
Young. She's young. She's in her early 20s. She's a very young girl.
Okay.
Because of that, she gets a 7-picture contract with Paramount. She was on Time Magazine's cover in September of 1953. But even more than acting, she became known for her personal style.
Yeah, I do recall like seeing all the great photographs of her and these great outfits that she was wearing, and she was beautiful.
Iconic.
Sure.
She became known for her extraordinary range of sensitive and moving expression, considering she had a frail and slender frame.
Yeah.
Very thin, very elfin, childlike, very small frame. She returns to the stage in 1954. She marries Mel Ferrar in September of 1954 in Switzerland. They divorce after 15 years. She has one kid with him named Sean. Her second husband was an Italian psychiatrist, Andrea Dotti. They had one son, Luca. They were married for another 13 years. Now we're in 1961. Truman Capote, Breakfast at Tiffany.
Ah, yes.
Okay. Now, the dress that she wears, forget the acting, forget George Papa, forget everything. The dress that she wears has been considered an icon of the 20th century and maybe the most famous LBDs, little black dresses, of all time.
Indeed.
When you think, I have several LBDs in my closet, you go to, that I need my little black dress, I need this little black dress, that little black dress. When you think of that little black dress, I don't know how you could not think of the iconic Breakfast at Tiffany's with the pearls.
She started it.
She really... Okay, so a couple of years ago, my husband and I go to a Halloween party. Me go to a Halloween party, what a shock. And at this point, I don't know why women, especially older women, feel the need to dress as a slutty schoolgirl or a slutty nurse, right? You all know what I'm talking about. They come to parties like this, and I'm like, wow.
That's the trend these days.
It really is.
Yeah.
And these are, like I said, older women. Not that it would help if these girls were younger, but there's just something awful. I think the worst I saw was like a slutty alien, and the guy came as an astronaut. I'm like, alrighty.
Okay.
Husband and I go to costume party, and I say to myself, I'm going to come as Holly Golightly.
Okay.
Little black dress, the pearls, I pile up my hair, I buy the gloves that go up to your shoulder with the cigarette. And somehow I got a hold of a life vest that says Titanic on it. Put it on my husband, he's wearing a suit, he's got like white gloves and a top hat from when my daughter did tap. I get the dollar store version of the Heart of the Ocean, that little blue heart from he's got that in the pocket. I said, you're John Jacob Astor. I'm Holly Golightly. We stayed in character the entire time.
I need pictures of this.
I have pictures of this. I will show you this.
Okay.
And it was fabulous, and we won.
Nice.
And I said, of all the things, I'm going to keep it classy.
Yeah.
And it was just, and everybody knows, and people are like, oh, Holly, hello, Holly.
Yeah.
Nobody did the Mickey Rooney. Oh, Miss Golightly. Nobody seemed to do that, thank God. Not even the Japanese people. But It was a very classy moment, and for those few hours, I was Holly Golightly.
Oh.
No, I did
You should
not.
have brought one of your cats.
I didn't. I was going to say I did not take them and put them in the rain. This will not happen.
No, I didn't. No, I don't
But
think you ever would.
never put the cat in the rain.
Never.
But so there you go.
Okay.
So not only was she quintessential and an icon, she happened to have been a good woman. In '89, she was appointed the Goodwill Ambassador for UNICEF.
I heard that.
She went to Ethiopia on a mission in '88. Went to Turkey, South America, met with leaders to help out in clean water programs and initiatives.
Wow.
Received the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Bush in recognition for her work with UNICEF. I mean,
that's pretty amazing.
Beautiful inside and outside, right?
Yeah.
Her quote, there's this quote from her that I've always found. For beautiful eyes, look for the good in others. For beautiful lips, speak only words of kindness. For poise, walk with the knowledge that you are never alone.
Oh.
I mean, you talk about words to live by, right?
Yeah.
It goes on, for beautiful hair, let a child run their fingers through it.
Oh.
You know, I mean, really, just a fabulousness.
Fabulousness. I like that.
And, her legacy has endured long after her death of, she had a form of abdominal cancer. She passed away in Switzerland in 1993.
Oh, bummer.
But she was known for her fashion choices, as well as her distinctive look, as well as for her humanitarianism.
Yeah.
How do you go wrong with that?
Got a little bit of everything going on there.
Now, fashion plays an unusually central role in many of her films. The costume itself isn't necessarily tied into the character. It functions as an attraction on its own. It's like the dress takes over, like in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah.
Her look was seen as attainable. She's a Hollywood starlet, but yet it's somebody that some people can imitate,
Yeah.
right? It was an alternative for the feminine appeal. At that time, there were curvy and sexual styles of other actresses of the day, but not her. Mm-hmm. Her younger women found it easier to emulate her, okay? And nobody was looking like that before World War II. If you think of, Buxom, you think of Marilyn, and you think of other, different sexy, curvy women, and then there's something very childlike but stunning about her that's easy for women to imitate.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like all the big stars were blonde.
Yeah.
And then here comes this beautiful...
This little
dark-haired-
tiny, dark, thin, frail,
Yeah.
lovely, different.
Yeah.
Vogue refers to her as the acme of classic beauty. She was in 1961's International Best Dress list because her style was minimalistic. A simple silhouette, monochromatic colors, and an occasional statement accessory. Also named one of the most beautiful women of all time.
Sure.
Her film costumes still fetch a lot at auctions. You get an Audrey dress, you're going to shell out a lot of bucks.
Sure.
Her name is synonymous. When you think Audrey Hepburn, you think style, charm, and grace.
For sure.
So, although Breakfast at Tiffany's is an iconic role, it's a very tragic figure. Her cat, named Cat, doesn't even bother to give the cat a name, right?
Right.
What does Cat stand for? For those of you who've seen the movie, she's got a cat. Doesn't even bother to give the poor damn thing a name. His name is Cat, and at the end...
He steals the movie, I gotta say.
The cat is,
I love that cat.
Cat knows what's going on more than she does.
Yeah.
She gets in the cab, she sets the cat out in the pouring rain. Will she find them, right? The cat actually stands for Holly's realization that she's scared about never belonging anywhere or to anyone. That's what Cat stands for, never belonging. Not even having a name, right?
Oh.
Great role, great story, Truman Capote, great writer, Moon River, great song,
Sure, it is,
written
yeah.
just for the film.
Yeah.
She actually sang it.
I heard Truman Capote was like, "Why is there a song in my film? Why do we
Right,
have to have it?"
well,
he was not digging it.
No, but they felt that, it needed Hollywood. It needs a song to carry it. Well, a lot of great films need something iconic to
Yeah.
associate. Not part of the book or the story.
Well, this film's got lots of icons. It's got the film. I mean, it's got the song. It's got the dress, and it's got the cat.
And it's got the cat. Oh, and it's got Audrey Hepburn.
And Audrey Hepburn.
And it really is. I mean, there's so many, right? Breakfast at Tiffany's. Do you breakfast at Tiffany's? Don't make me sing. Everybody will.
Oh, yes, that song.
Yeah. I guess I remember the film, but
I
I liked it. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. And it is iconic. I went, and but everybody knew
Yeah.
I was Holly.
Yeah.
Everybody knew. Nobody said, "Who are you supposed to be?" Of course, they never say that to the slutty alien either, but that's another story. Another favorite, Sabrina. Tell me, you've heard of Sabrina? The original. There's a remake. Don't watch the remake. Watch the original.
I haven't seen it.
1954. She plays the daughter of the chauffeur driver for a very wealthy family.
Okay.
She happens to have a crush, and she's had a lifelong childhood crush on one of the sons. She goes to Paris, reinvents herself, yada yada. I think it was William Holden, who I'm pretty sure she wound up having an affair with, or he wanted to have an affair with her. He was madly in love with her. Every man was madly in love with her.
Sure.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
And Bogey, Humphrey Bogart.
Okay.
Plays the other brother. And what you learn, if you learn nothing else from Sabrina, it's I have learned how to live, how to be in the world and of the world, and not just to stand aside and watch. And I will never, ever again run away from life.
Oh.
That's a big quote from there, just like Kat, right? Not Ballon, but he or she knows what... It's an evolution of her character. A film definitely worth watching. They had a remake with, I think, Greg Kinnear. I can't remember who else was in the remake. Maybe it was Harrison Ford and Greg Kinnear. But very iconic, very beautiful. Again, you know, she goes to Paris and you can see what she's wearing and what she's doing. And the fashion takes on a role of its own.
Sure, yeah.
Neither my favorite. What is my favorite Audrey Hepburn film? Well, I'm glad everyone asked.
I definitely want to know.
Did you ever hit the Children's Hour?
The Children's Hour. Well, that was FDR's. That was FDR's code word for cocktail hour.
Is
Children's Hour?
I wonder why he chose that term, because there were no children around, or
I think that was just his chance to be like the silly guy telling the jokes to all his.
That's ironic.
But this is way before her film though.
This film was in 1961 with her and Shirley MacLaine.
Okay.
However, it's based on a story from a 1934 play by Lillian Hellman of the same title.
Oh, maybe he got it from that then. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Now at that time of the play's premiere in 1934, this deals with people being gay.
Oh.
In 1934. The play's premiere in 1934, at that time, it was illegal to mention homosexuality on the stage. It was illegal in New York State.
That just blows my mind.
I know, I can't either. I just really. However, authorities chose to overlook it and overlook the subject matter when the Broadway production was as acclaimed as it was by critics. Lillian Hellman wrote it. The one key theme throughout the Children's Hour is the capacity of lies and deception to thoroughly ruin people's lives. She and Shirley MacLaine, I think, are the headmistresses of School for Girls, a prominent school. And one of the girls starts a rumor that they're the lovers, Shirley MacLaine and Audrey Hepburn. In the meantime, Audrey Hepburn is engaged to James Garner in the film.
Okay.
And the whole scandal breaks and so on and so on. And like I said, it's very powerful. I don't want to tell you what happens in it. I'm not going to tell anybody. Watch the film.
I gotta go home and watch The Children's Hour?
It's The Children's Hour, 1961.
Okay.
It is a revelation for the time. The movie came out, like I said, in 61. I can imagine what the play was like in the 30s.
Woo. Yeah.
That must have...
That's going back.
And especially if mentioning being gay was illegal on the stage.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what the shock was. Like, you know, if you ever watch Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, Sidney Poitier, right? Oh,
yeah, that's a classic.
Oh, my, right, Hepburn and the other Hepburn, Katharine Hepburn, and she, you know, they come to dinner, and prominent family, and she brings Sidney Poitier.
Yeah.
He's a doctor. He's great. Oh, he's black.
Oh.
And the crap hits the fan.
Oh, sure.
I can imagine now people go, yeah, okay, she brought him a black guy. That's nice. Good for you. Yeah, they're gay. That's nice. Good for you.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah.
At that time, people cared.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
So when you start testing the waters with these things, I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
But not just because of the subject matter, because the way it's dealt, because I'm a big fan of Shirley MacLaine as well. And to watch the two of them in these roles, not knowing what's going to happen to these women, feeling bad for these women. Are they gay? Are they not gay? What's going to happen if they are gay?
Yeah.
Definitely, again, worth watching. And that would be my favorite Audrey film of all time.
I'm going to have to check it out.
So now people have work to do. You must watch these things.
I must. Yeah.
I should give a recommendation. These are the films to watch by Sue.
The films to watch by Sue.
Sabrina and The Children's Hour and Requiem for a Heavyweight. We did that last time.
Right.
And you personally have to watch Yentl.
I do have to watch Yentl. You're right.
Yentl is just a film, just one of those, I don't want to say cult films, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I've always, grown up watching her films, right? My Fair Lady.
Oh, you know what? Okay, I did see another one of her films. The Nuns.
The Nun
Story?
one. Yeah.
I saw that one. That one was good.
What did you think of that?
I thought it was good. Yeah.
Everything she does is just classic and timeless and perfection. And the fact is that she was a humanitarian and she was just a good person. How do you not love this woman?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why she's one of my favorite dead people.
All right.
Died too young.
Yeah.
But yeah, worth watching. So there.
Well, okay then.
My plug for black and white movies, old black and white movies. I'm a fan of, watching old films.
I do love me some Turner Classic movies.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah. We binge whatever it is. During Halloween we binge watch Bella and Boris, and when it's somebody's birthday, they do, like if it's Audrey's birthday, they'll put on all her films.
Right.
Or I'm sure when it comes like January Martin Luther King weekend, they'll put on civil rights films, and these are things that I learned so much.
Yeah.
And you say, wow, and again, I look at it from a lens of now. Mm-hmm. I know that was a big deal back then. I know when they mentioned, in the 60s that these two women weren't just platonic, everybody went, oh, or when, Spencer Tracy's daughter brings home a black guy and he goes, oh, everybody does that. Nobody does that now, thank God.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that long ago.
No, it really
and that's
wasn't.
what makes me go,
yeah.
What's the big deal?
Really
but it is, but it was.
It's American history, love it or hate it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, crazy how little we've accepted and how far we've come in so little of a time.
Oh, there's still some
you think?
work that needs to be done.
Another film. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see if you ever heard of this one. Gentleman's Agreement.
No.
I shouldn't even tell you what that's about.
Okay.
But I'm going to.
Okay.
He
Is
is
it
also
Audrey
Gregory.
Hepburn?
No, Audrey. I think it's also Gregory Peck.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Writer, again, he must have gotten typecast as a writer, goes undercover to expose anti-Semitism.
Oh.
Goes undercover as a Jewish writer.
Nice.
And that film is all about anti-Semitism. And I remember seeing that when I was younger, where it didn't make as much sense to me as it did when I got older. And that's another groundbreaking film.
Okay.
If we're talking about groundbreaking films,
Sure.
that would be one that exposes anti-Semitism. Because that was a day and age where they would, put things, and I've seen this, that you have a job position and you have the listing in the paper, Irishmen, Italians, and Jews need not apply. And it would say that in the ad.
Yeah.
And this was where he goes undercover, and it's about he is not anti-Semitic in the movie. He goes to expose it, but there's a woman whose character isn't either. Is she or is she not anti-Semitic because she chooses to do nothing?
Right.
And that's what it's about. Are you or for or against if you sit by and let it happen?
Yeah.
And that's what films like that bring to light. And go Hollywood, for exposing us to wrongs that need to be corrected.
Yeah.
And I think Audrey was pivotal in that, even in when she plays Pygmalion, My Fair Lady, right? Cockney flower girl. It's an experiment.
Yeah.
That's nice. Really? You pick a girl from the streets and the gutters and you try to make her into something she's not. What does that say about a test of society as well?
Yeah.
So all these things have been brought to light because of films like that.
Film is a very powerful thing.
The big medium.
Yeah.
When you ask a kid, what's my hero? Who's your hero? A lot of them will say sports players or, movie stars. That's why we have to be very careful. Who's your hero? Kanye. Oh, alrighty then. Yeah, this is why we need to be very careful, right?
God, what the fuck?
I'm sorry. The artist formerly known as Kanye.
What the fuck?
Apparently he can't spell his name. Now he just has to call himself Yay, because he can't spell Khan.
Why?
Maybe he is a Khan. Yeah.
He's a something.
Well, but children will look up to him.
That's fucked up on so many levels. I don't understand how anyone can look up to that asshole. I really.
But they do.
I
But they
don't
do.
know.
But they do. But they do.
Wait,
and
how did we go from talking about a graceful woman like Audrey Hepburn to that shit?
talking about influences.
Yeah, okay.
The yin and the yang of influences.
Yeah, I'll say.
Her influencing fashion or being a humanitarian as opposed to yay.
Ugh,
You know,
Jesus.
yeah. So look at the leaders we followed, right? Look at the lives we
Such a-
followed. Yeah.
It's
Guns
so
N' Roses.
amazing. The,
I know.
The absolute, like, I mean, what's, are we just, like, slowly deteriorating?
No, it's
always been.
I think every generation has their trials and tribulations. Every generation comes with something good and something not so good.
That's
so
true. Yeah.
So that is our job.
Our job to be good and to let people know.
And to be humanitarians.
Yeah.
And to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And to dress well while doing it.
Oh,
Damn, you gotta look good.
that's hard.
I like fashion. Want to know what I... Now, this is funny, okay? I have 4 closets because I
You have
can.
4 closets?
Yes, I've taken over. I'm an empty nester, and
right, yeah.
everybody moves out. I go, take your crap. I take over their closets now.
Fair enough.
I want to get one big closet instead of the 4 small ones and get the thing...
The walk-in.
not only that, the thing the dry cleaner has that goes round and round and round.
Nice.
I need one of those
Yeah.
in maybe I'll just take over a bedroom and just make it, into a dry cleaning round and round thingy.
Yeah.
But every day I get up and I say, okay, my God, not during COVID where all I wore was yoga pants.
Oh, absolutely.
But when I get up, I say to myself, okay, because you and I deal with a lot of dead people, right?
Every day.
Every day. So I say to myself, and you should do this too. Everybody listening, take out a pen right now and write this down. Before you get dressed in the morning, say to yourself, if I were to die today, do I want this to be my ghost outfit for all eternity? You will
Whoa.
dress differently, I promise. You will put the Crocs away, and
I would put on a Victorian outfit just to fuck with people.
you should.
Like, I'd be like,
Ah,
I'd come out as in a Victorian dress as a ghost, but then I'd be like, where's my iPhone?
right. That's right.
And I would totally fuck with people.
We would get, yeah, well, she had on this old dress. But I say to myself, I'm going to put on an outfit, and I go, oh my God, if I were to die today, do I want this to be my ghost? No, and I put it in the back of the closet, and I take out something better, just in case.
God, I like
God forbid we should wind up on
You
this
always
show.
need fresh underwear.
Clean up, yeah, clean
And-
fresh, and you always want to look your best.
Yeah.
Because if you got to walk through hell, you should at least make it look good.
You're not going to hell.
I've been there. Oh, they kicked me out. What are you kidding? They were afraid I was going to take over. I knew too many people. But if you're going to go, you might as well, look like you own the place.
So, Audrey Hepburn.
Yes.
What do you think she's wearing wherever it is she might be in the afterlife?
You know what? I think she's wearing like capris. And I don't think she's not wearing the holly dress because that's been done too much. She's wearing like capris and a lightweight linen blouse with a statement piece and ballet flats, something comfortable. And she's very comfortable in her own skin, and she's smiling beautifully.
I like it.
Minimal makeup and little lipstick,
Sounds
and
good.
and she looks gorgeous.
Beautiful.
There you go.
There we go.
Well, that was a different episode.
I mean, yeah. We're all
was-
different.
Yeah, really.
Because we
Depends
have a
on our
lot
mood.
of different dead people to talk
Different
about.
dead people in different moods. Yeah. I think I was on my soapbox today, but that's okay.
Hey,
You heard it here first. I'm allowed because it's our show.
It's our show. We
And I can do whatever we want. That's
you can
right.
say whatever the hell you want to
Yeah,
say.
ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
That's right. And if I want to talk about fashion, I'll talk about fashion.
Talk about it.
And I'll talk about Audrey. And I'll talk about, well, not you. Well, we're alive.
We're alive, yeah, so.
You could talk about
Yeah.
dead people. And if
Yeah.
anybody has suggestions of dead people that they want to
Absolutely.
hear us talk about, either positively or negatively, we take suggestions,
We do.
don't we? Yeah, I think we do.
Absolutely.
You could
You
leave
can
us
reach
feedback
out to
and
us.
comments.
We
And you
got
know
a
where to
Facebook
find us.
page.
You know where to find us.
Yeah.
We'd love some feedback.
Absolutely. favedeadpodcasts@gmail.com.
There you go.
email
And
us,
you could always leave your review. Tell us what you're thinking. Somebody
Absolutely.
you want to hear about. Somebody you're not quite sure about.
Yeah.
As long as they're dead, we'll take them on.
We will. We'll talk about them.
Because dead people don't fight back.
You got a cool name and a person that you think we should research, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll do it. We'll look
do
into it for you and bring it to you live.
or if you have done some research yourself of a cool story of a dead person you think we need to talk about, send us a PDF
That's right.
of that story, and we'll absolutely
Or if
share
you
it.
ever want to be a guest speaker on our show,
100%.
the more the merrier. If there is somebody dead that you are knowledgeable on,
Yeah,
bring it.
bring it. Let's go. We want to talk about them.
We want to hear you.
We love interesting dead people.
We want you to hear us. We like we like talking about dead people. Because how
All the
else will
time.
you learn?
Absolutely.
And once again, they can't argue.
They can't. They
It's a
cannot
good thing.
give us a
They
hard
will
time.
not
Yeah.
say, no, that didn't happen.
That's a beautiful thing about dead people.
It really is.
Yeah.
You know, really is. Not too much feedback from them. But
Unless we broke out a Ouija board.
well, then,
And then
that's,
maybe
that's true.
They
yeah.
might be like, hey,
Hey,
I didn't do that. I
that's
didn't say
right.
that.
You lied. You made that up. But we should do that next time we go to the cemetery.
Yes.
Take out the Ouija board and open a portal.
I mean, that sounds like fun.
It does. Creepy
Yeah.
fun. We
Yeah.
should do that.
Okay.
One day.
I'm down.
One day. That's what we're going to do. And anybody wanting to join us,
Yeah.
you know where to find us.
Let's do it.
All right. Bring it.
Well, folks.
Hope you enjoyed.
Thanks once again for joining us on yet another episode of
All my favorite people are dead. See you next time.